Hi everyone, my name is Christian. I hope you guys are all doing well right now during this quarantine, and I hope you are all doing fine in your classes. Anyways, for the assignment, for the reading, I picked the paragraph that has to do with the one of the author's friends, or the author's friends in general. But before I talk about that, I thought that the whole text in general was really eye opening. There were certainly a lot of areas where, you know, it might have struck some emotion or something in all of us. But the one I thought, well, at least for me, it was both striking, it was striking, provocative, and also a little confusing, was the paragraph about her friend Gina. Um, the paragraph has to do with how Gina was supposed to take math in high school that required for college, but she didn't. Um, I found this paragraph to be at first provocative and striking because of the counselor, uh, especially the part where it says her math classes were full, but the counselor said she should just take the regular math series and she'd let her know if the college level classes would open up. And later in 10th grade, her counselor said, "Oh, sorry, you were taking the wrong math class, so you're already behind." And I thought that was, I mean, I could see that, okay, the math classes were full, but like, I feel like the counselor didn't really do much to try to help her get the math classes that she needed for college. So I thought that was kind of provocative. So yeah, but what was more provocative was that she said there's only one counselor for 5,000 students, and that she shouldn't be blaming other for their mistakes. And she said, "You'll never go anywhere with math anyway, so what's all the fuss?" That was probably the most provocative um, part for me, because it shows that the counselor really didn't care uh, for um, for Gina at all. She didn't care um, if she was gonna go to college anyway. So that's why I say that. Like, I feel like the counselor didn't really put in much effort to try to get her on track. So that kind of struck a little bit of anger in me. Like, I can't believe that there's actually counselors out there who think this way. Like, um, and I guess what's even more provocative to me is that there's actually high schools still to this day that have counselors like this, who just look at the student like, oh, well, I don't think she's going to go to college, so why put in the effort to help them get to college? And to me, that's not right. I feel like everybody should have an opportunity to attend college, no matter what background or circumstances they are in. Um, but also, how she said, you're not going to go anywhere with math. Like, I'm pretty sure there's careers out there that are in need of mathematicians. If not, she could be a teacher too, and that would also be great, because you know more students like these are needed are needed as teachers like this for high schools, so they can relate on the students on a better level. So, but that's, I guess the counselor didn't see it that way, and it says that she actually wants to be an engineer, so that's even better. Like, she could have gone to university and to obtain an engineering degree, but nope, all because the counselor didn't refuse to step in, or put in more effort. And it also says that um, the counselor also told her other friends that they couldn't attend the college information meetings because they were not be going to college anyway. Like, okay, so I thought that that just shows pretty much the counselor really doesn't care for students like these. Um, but um, I feel like if for the schools that are still out there that have these large amount of students enrolled and lack of counselors, there should be more counselors implemented. To because I guess I could see why the counselor had to narrow her focus on just a certain amount of students because 5,000 students, yeah, that is a lot, but like I feel like the counselor still should have tried at least something. But for me, I was fortunate enough to go to I went to a public school, but I was fortunate enough not to get a counselor like this. There were only two counselors in my school, but there were 2,000 or 3,000 kids. I, I think 3,000, yeah. So I guess, I mean, they still had a handful of students to deal with, but still, my counselor did her best to try to get me on track. There were times where in my senior year where I was actually failing some classes, and the counselor checked up on me. She was like, "Oh, what's going on, man? Like, why are you behind in this class?" And I said, "Oh, I just I didn't turn in the assignment, but I talked to the teacher. Why?" And they were gonna let me. And she's like, "Okay, that's good to hear, man," because I was kind of getting worried. See, that's the kind of counselors we need in schools all over. Those kinds of counselors will ensure everyone goes, or everyone that wants to go to college, and possibly encourage those who didn't think about college to go anyway. So yeah, that's this is the paragraph I thought was more provocative. Oh, but also for the confusing part, I don't know. I guess she said that her sophomore year she was already behind because she didn't take second year algebra and trigonometry as soon as she entered. But actually, I didn't take second year trigonometry till sophomore year either. I mean, second year algebra. Sorry, I didn't take second year algebra, so I don't know what the counselor was talking about then. Maybe the requirements were different back then, but yeah, and yeah, that was my reaction.